Okay.
Braden, how are you?
I'm good, man.
I'm good,
Welcome.
thanks.
Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you too. You keeping well?
I'm good.
Family's fine.
Family's fine.
Welcome to SoFi Network.
So beautiful, the buildings, the offices.
I mean, I'm going to show you around a little bit.
It's awesome stuff.
I need to have a conversation. But let me start here. Let me show you.
Okay.
And you're going to laugh at me, eh?
Are we done?
You come through.
Oh.
No, come through.
Wow.
Don't worry. Yeah. This is our makeup room, eh? You don't do makeup, eh? I know. Yeah?
No, they will just touch Mosanyani.
touch, anyan. No. You don't need to. You're looking good.
This is so professional.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
Nice, brother.
Is it?
Yeah.
You impressed?
I am.
This is so fine network.
Yes.
You know?
And your quality is good.
We do a little bit of touch myself, but not much.
Yeah.
Just the nose. Eh?
The nose, yeah.
This black nose shines a lot. Yeah, but I don't enjoy. To tell you the honest truth, I don't enjoy makeup.
Yeah.
But these guys tell me they're light, so you just a little bit of a touch.
Oh yes.
Nothing major, but you're looking good.
I'm good. Okay, thanks, Radhe.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. And family is keeping well?
Thanks. Yeah, no, the family is keeping well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to the Free State now on Friday. There's a bereavement.
Oh, sorry. Condolences, man. Condolences.
Of our auntie there in Smithfield. You know, I'm from Smithfield.
Yes.
Past Bloemfontein, Eastern Cape.
Okay.
On the way to Eastern Cape, yes.
Okay, all right. Let me just drop this. I want to use it.
So they said, no, they've produced somebody.
Okay.
The Free State are very proud
of
me coming there. Okay. Now they're going to ask me questions.
Yeah,
Who do you think is going to win?
Look, we have a lovely view,
Beautiful, brother.
Yeah. Who's going to win between Bafana
and Mexico? So I have to answer all those questions. They don't understand it.
That's great.
I'm not in football anymore.
Yeah, no, welcome. Let me show you quickly before we sit.
Oh, this is lovely.
We got 4 sets.
Gee.
So fine, yeah. This is 1 set.
Yeah.
And you can move things around.
Yes,
you can change things around.
It all depends, I get it from the theme.
Yes, yeah. And
very
who's
nice.
The podcast and stuff.
Yeah.
You could use here. Actually, here, minimum, you can have 4 different sets. 4 different positions. Nice. Same thing here. Yeah. You could also have 4 different sets. And you see the look is different.
That's why you won the award,
No.
Long time.
Don't give me too much credit here. And then here it's another set.
Don't die, I know.
This is another set. Yeah, come through. I'll show you where we're gonna sit. Thank you. Quickly. We can have a look again, please. After you.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, the chair, the couch on the left. That's where you're gonna plonk yourself.
This one. Oh,
this
yeah.
One. Yeah, this one. That's where you're gonna plonk yourself.
All right.
Yeah. Is it comfortable?
It is, brother. It is.
Are you ready, Charlie?
I'm ready, brother.
Who do you think saved your life?
Oh, brother, God, man. Since the age of 5, I was supposed not to be here.
And how did it come about? How did it manifest itself, that saving by God when you were 5 years old?
Brother, I'm from Smithfield is a very small town on your way to, you need to pass Bloemfontein on your way to Eastern Cape. It's a very small population, and as you know, my background of growing up without a father, cousins were teasing and bullying us. And one day I decided that because I was watching my grandfather always taking some sleeping pills for him to relax. And I asked my grandfather, what does this do for you? He said, no, man, they make me sleep. So if you drink 2, no, it's dangerous to drink 2 because you might not come back. So I thought, no, let me end my life, man, and all those things. So I took 2, brother. And I went into...
How old were you then?
5, between 5 and 6. I can't remember.
So you wanted to sleep forever?
Yeah, brother. You know, my mother used to read for me books at a very small age. So I understand things that the children of my age group didn't understand. So I traveled with the books that my mother was reading and everything. So I understand more that, there's something like a heaven. Peaceful place where you go and no more sorrows, no more everything, because you always sing songs like that. So I said, I want to go to that place. It's better than the bullying and everything here. And I used 2.
So you stole 2 of your grandfather's sleeping tablets?
Yes, brother.
And what happened?
Oh, I went into this, I don't know where, but people don't realize, but I've put it in my book, To God Be the Glory, that I had an out-of-body experience. I saw my own funeral. saw my mother crying. I saw everyone there. And I was at a place where it was just green, beautiful, brother. And out of that, but I couldn't communicate with them. But out of that, I just heard my one cousin said, hey, Pina took Papa's pills. So they only realize now because this guy is not waking up. He's just sleeping. And that time there was no doctors around. They said, no, give him milk. Give him a lot of milk. So
and this is hours later, I guess.
Yes, brother. Because I was resting, they thought that because I was a naughty child also, they said, leave him there, man. He's resting. You know, things like that. So, but they didn't realize that this resting is not an ordinary resting. So they gave me this milk. I drank this milk and I came back, brother. And I explained to them where I was. And I only realized when I was busy with this book, to God be the glory, that was the power of the hand of God that was on my life.
But you were 5 years old. Your concept of God, what was it like? I mean, for a 5-year-old, when I was 5, Charlie, I didn't think about God.
But then in our house, my mother was a prayer warrior. So, and they were always teasing me at school and everywhere because I will always go with my mother to all these church gatherings where people are praying and everything. So my whole upbringing was around prayer, God, everything. Then later, school friends. So this is how my road traveled with God. At the age of 5 and at the age of 7, I nearly drowned. You know, I really nearly drowned and something saved me. So this was my route, and I knew that there's a bigger hand.
You've been on a long journey. I mean, from since you were a boy and growing up without your father, as you referred to. You've published 4 books. Today, you lead a movement of helping boys who've grown up without a father through your foundation, Charlie. How does your spirituality show up today in the way you lead, for example, in the way you work?
But then my life is around my belief and my faith in God. Even my books, you know, even in my book, Growing Up Without a Father, where I had my personal encounters with the Lord. And my latest book is that one, the mindset shift that opened doors. So I don't do anything without consulting. It's like I had my meeting with God, for God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So everything that I'm doing then, even my children, how the way I raise them and everything is around God. So I don't move without God.
Yeah. Do you think there's a place for that kind of approach to leadership today in South Africa?
That's what we're lacking, brother. Our leaders don't have God in their lives. I promise you. You cannot lead without being led by somebody and guided by somebody. That's why we make some of the biggest mistakes that we are doing in this country of us, because we are not led by God.
You spend quite a bit of your time praying and meditating, for example, thinking about what you're about to do when you've got projects on the go. I mean, this is your 10th anniversary of the foundation, for example.
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. And I wrote a book for Bernard Parker, the Kaizer Chiefs striker at that time. He struggled to score goals. He needed 5 goals to become the all-time goal scorer of Kaizer Chiefs, and he couldn't get through that. That's where I said meditation and visualization. And I taught him the power of visualization. How to meditate, how to visualize, how to see yourself at a stadium before the game. A week before the game, you must be already there at the stadium in your mind, brother. And that's are used by Cristiano Ronaldo and everyone. So in my life, I meditate. Even this meeting, brother, of us now today.
This conversation.
I had it for 5 minutes before. Every night said, this is how Braden and myself are going to sit.
And leaders in organizations would use different tools, for example. You've mentioned the word visualization.
Yes.
And some people believe, for example, in journaling, spending time alone.
Yes.
And you say you helped a player like Bernard Parker.
Yeah.
Does it work?
It works. It works, Braden. It clears your mind. If you don't plan and clear your mind before anything, Braden, I don't know how do you navigate through everything.
What's more important for you? Strategy, for example, you run an organization.
Yeah.
Or it's what you've just said, spending time with yourself as a leader, understanding where you are headed and visualizing the future.
But then through my years, I became the regional manager of FNB and Standard Bank at a very young age.
Yeah.
I became the first CEO of South African football.
Bloemfontein Celtic.
Bloemfontein Celtics.
Yeah, I remember.
So soccer didn't have CEOs; they had general managers. So my father, Ntate Molemela, who became my role model. So we were in this offices of the PSL, and PSL has just appointed Trevor Phillips as CEO. And Tate saw the writing on the wall and said, "Charlie, what is the meaning of CEO? I just want to show you strategy." I said, "No, Tate, CEO is Chief Executive Officer." So he said, "No, I'm going to make you a Chief Executive Officer." So I use strategy, brother.
How young were you then?
Very young. I was in my 20s, brother.
When you became a CEO?
Yes, I was in my 20s, and Tate introduced me to football at a very young age. And also, I used to
Having grown up without a father, finding yourself in your 20s with Ntate Molemela from Bloemfontein, making you chief executive officer of a football club that was in the Premier Soccer League of the days.
Sitting of the likes of Dr. Ivan Koza, Keiza Mutaung, and everything.
Yeah. What are the lessons from that time as a CEO?
The lessons for me was to listen. You know what Ntate said to me? When you go from Bloem to Joburg, you go in to listen. You speak when you are asked to speak. If Celtics is not on the agenda, don't just talk. So he taught me the power of listening, analyzing people, reading people's minds before I can say anything. That's what I learned from
You see, with Don't Die Unknown, my podcast, I am trying to say to people, not dying unknown means living a meaningful life, having an impact of others. Yeah, it's a purpose-driven life. But it's also about what we leave behind.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you hope your family will carry forward because they knew you?
But then my family knew that you don't come to Uncle Charlie if you are not prepared of anything. So I make them think, Braden. When you come to me and said, "What do you think about this?" I will ask you, have you spent time yourself to analyze this before you came to me?
So thinking and preparation will be important for anybody in a leadership position?
Thinking and preparation, and know your audience, know your people. Let me make this example. I spent some times in the Free State provincial government under the leadership of Beatrice Marshoff. She was the premier. So when President Thabo Mbeki is visiting the province, a month before the time, we prepare. We look at his route, where he's going to move, and everything. We go to that areas, Braden, to talk to the people about the challenges of that area.
This is in advance of the visit.
Yes, because we know how the president is. The president is going to ask you states and everything. So far ahead of that.
Is that lacking today in South Africa?
It is, Braden. I don't know. I think we are in a very harsh, we're just moving, Braden. Now, if you look at it, it's now xenophobia. How do you address it? It's now this. How do you address this? I don't think our leaders, with due respect, are sitting. Like the GNU needs to go and sit and look at challenges and say, "Guys, where are we moving from here? What are the plans?"
From what you've just said, here on the podcast on Don't Die Unknown, among other issues that I'm looking at is the issue of values. Okay, and from what you've just said, it looks like we have lost that.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a young leader listening to our conversation, what would you want them to know and do?
But then what I've learned, I became a manager in a bank at a very young age, a bank manager. So how it was that day is that people waited for things to happen. I didn't wait for things to happen. I was appointed in a bank at a time where colors and blacks couldn't be anything else in the bank. You can only be a teller. So I went and asked the supervisor, "What will it take for me to become a manager?" And he said, "No, firstly, the system doesn't allow this. And secondly, it will take you 10 years. And I said, "What will you do if I master this in 6 months? Will you appoint me?" He said, "Yeah, it's your time. You won't be appointed because the system doesn't allow it." So what I did, Braden, now the question is for the youngster is that don't expect freebies from anyone, because our youngsters now, Braden, are expecting freebies. I can see it sometimes from my kids. They don't want to work for certain things. So I went and studied the system, Braden. I wrote exams in the bank that time about departments. Even when I knew that I'm not going to be appointed as a manager, but I did it for myself. So I equip myself, brother. I know that I need to know this environment. Know your environment. Talk to people. You know, I'll come and ask you as a senior manager, brother, can I help you with something? I said, no, man, I'm okay. I said, anything. Can I help you file? We're filing, because filing was a dirty thing. Ne? So it shows you that, okay, give him filing. But in that, I'm asking you, brother, what is this form? What does this work for? So you actually imparting in a way that, to me, that you are not aware that you are imparting to me.
You know, for me, I understand that and I hear it very clearly. But beyond achievement, for me, the reason I wrote my book, I Don't Want to Die Unknown, because
Yes.
I believe in the heart of my heart, deep in my soul, that life is not just about achieving things.
Yeah.
It's not just about success. For you, what gives life meaning beyond achieving a qualification, a certificate?
Making a difference in ordinary people's lives. You know, working away when you help the granny, you know, to apply maybe for a pension, you say thank you and God bless you.
So for a young leader starting out today, yes, they want to become a manager, they want to
Yeah.
lead in an organization. Meaning is also important.
Yes. Plow back, go back to where you come from. Help in the church, help in the house, help with everything, because that's where leadership starts, brother. You need to practice what you preach. So I've learned from my grandfather, from my grandmother, and from my mother, what is it to serve other people. It didn't make sense for us that time when my grandmother was said, share your plate of food with somebody.
Are there times when you've doubted yourself?
Yeah, brother.
What has that inner voice been saying to you when you doubted yourself?
You useless, you will never make it. We has make it in your family, and you know, things like that.
And how have you pivoted from
No,
that?
I said to that voice, I said, you know, man, I'm not my family, and my family is not me. I am going to achieve this and also to help my family. So the inner voice will be there then. You sit with top guys in meetings. You know by that time, you don't have what that guys are having. But research, doing your homework, ne? You will speak. If like in the bank, when I was a bank manager, if I need to go see agriculture, farmers and everything, I'll sit, brother, and understand what is agriculture, the basics. And when you started engage with the people, you start about, hey, the season of this is not coming. This, you know, you show that you know.
Why is it important for leaders to listen?
But then you cannot lead. My degree through the University of the Free State is Bachelor in Management Leadership. I believe a manager and a leader, you can combine it. You need to know how to manage and how to lead. Because listening is very important, because people know things that you don't know, brother.
Yeah. And sometimes leaders think they must always be speaking.
Yeah.
But people do know what you don't know. So
Yes.
hearing them out as a leader is important as well. Okay. So values for you. What have been the main values guiding you? You grew up without a father. You found fathers in other people, like
Ntate Molemela.
Ntate Molemela from Bloemfontein Celtic.
Tera Lekota.
Yeah.
Yes, and all of those guys.
The people, they were there as father figures. They carried you through. What would be the main values that young boys, young men might follow? Because we have many households in South Africa today headed only by single mothers.
Thank you, brother. Very, very important. What I've also learned is that self-love. You have to discover yourself, your faults, your challenges and everything, and deal with it. Because what we find that broken people create brokenness, brother. So my values was, let me sort myself out, forgive the people that I need to forgive, like my father that was not there, and also help the ones that needs to be helped. And, give, small things. You don't have to give money, brother. Give time. Your shows that you do, you allow people to talk to you, because people needs to be listened to, but sometimes, brother. They will stop you in the train and ask you, Charlie, what do you think? Who's going to win, Pirates or Chiefs? I'm gone out of football, but I'll stand there and say, hey, guys, what do you think? And also make people feel important, brother.
Yeah. Was it easy for you to forgive your dad?
Right then, I went and met him at the age of 21. And in my mind was, am I going to accept this guy or am I not going to accept this guy? So it was difficult for 21 years, Braden. But when I met him, the day when I met him, I said, no, it's not worthy to hate somebody like this for the rest of my life, because I'm going to stay and become the prisoner of my own if I don't release him. So I released him, and we became friends, and I buried him.
Is that the message you give to young men today who are growing up without their father in South Africa? Because we have lots of them who might be watching this and wondering, how do I make peace?
I was in a conversation 2 days ago of somebody that really don't want to go to his father and forgive his father. I said, but you know what? You don't know what your father went through. Maybe his father was also not involved in his life. Just give him time, ask him for coffee, go sit. But take somebody like an elder or somebody that can be with you and listen to his point of view. But I always tell youngsters now, it's important, Braden, to look at both sides of the story. You have mama's side, but you don't have father's side. And you make a decision up from there. But the only way to move forward is to forgive.
Yeah, there is a cost for many leaders today when they compromise, for example, in organizations on values or anything, okay? And there is a cost to that when people do that, okay? Have you had to compromise on something that cost you in the past up to now?
Braden, thank God, up to now, there was no incident that I said I have to compromise on a thing like this.
Okay,
I will walk away, Braden. There were situations where you come and see this thing will not work.
Why would you walk away?
No, I will tell them that I cannot be part of something like this. Like we will sit in the Free State provincial government, when it comes to tenders, and you heard somebody said, "Nah, skete must get it."
So in leadership today in South Africa, many people in corporate and people in the public service find themselves involved in all kinds of questionable things with corruption. What's your advice to a young leader today in any organization, whether public or private, who might find themselves their values being tested?
But then the most important thing is do the right thing. If you know this thing is wrong, don't be part of it, brother. And also make your voice...
Even if it costs you.
Even if it costs you. But make your voice known and said, but guys, I'm not happy with this situation, because for many, many years and many, many times, we kept quiet, especially men. We don't come out. We are on WhatsApp groups, where they bash women and everything, where you just send emoji, that also smile. You're also part of it. I walk away, Braden, on situations like that.
Even if it's hard.
Even if it's hard and you are unpopular, yes.
Which value do you wish today, when you look back at your life, you had embraced earlier? You said you don't compromise, but I'm just wondering, is there a particular value that you think when I was younger, I should have held on to that?
I think love, Braden.
Love.
So
you haven't loved as much as you think you should have, could have?
Yes, Braden, because I didn't know how to. So I learned it on my journey.
Yeah, loving is not easy for anybody. What is love for you today?
Love for me today is to see a smile on a person's face, to see that rest and comfort in somebody's spirit, and everything that, no matter what, even if you don't have food around you, you can still smile, brother. And said, tomorrow will be better than today.
Yeah. Expressions of love, people are different about it. I'm just fascinated just to hear from you, because you are a highly respected leader in society, and you've carved that journey by yourself. Now, many people you hear when they go to work, no, we're not here to make friends at work. We're here to deliver, which maybe is right professionally and stuff. But love has many forms, and people, when they feel appreciated, it's a form of love, and then they can produce better and they can perform better. What do you say to that?
But then, when I was in leadership, I made sure, I was the regional manager for Standard Bank and FNB, and I had over 800 employees reporting directly under me, but there was managers that were reporting to me. I made sure, Braden, as the regional manager, that I know each and every staff member in my organization, from the cleaner up to the manager. So I spent time, Braden. Braden, how are you? with the tea lady. What are your dreams and your ambitions? I had a black book with all the names of them, brother. On their birthdays, I made sure my PA sent a message, even if it's not myself, that happy birthday, Miss Selina. Down there, Miss Selina will run with cakes and everything.
Because today you hear people sometimes say, this thing of love or soft skills, it's mushy, it's soft. And you are saying those years way back, you had to make sure you knew the people's names. Yeah. You greeted the people and you wished them well on their birthdays.
Yes.
That's a way of showing appreciation. And
I don't think it's an outdated system, brother. And that's why we don't have Ubuntu in our lives, because you don't know how many taxis does Messina take to come to work and what time does she leave from her own house. Do you think
companies would perform better if they did that?
They will, brother. I worked for a company that we tried. They called it Umhlangano, like Uvuka and all those things, where the white staff members were forced to stay for a weekend in Soweto, to ride in a taxi, to understand that if I'm saying that I'm late, brother, it's not, you late again. You must understand, what time did I wake up in the morning? How many taxis did I take to come to work?
Leaders must make time to understand the background and environments from which the employees come from. Is very important. And you did that with Bloemfontein Celtic, I guess, with the players?
I did it all the banks that I worked for. Even in government, I was very unpopular in government, brother, because my submissions were on time. And the comrades were saying, no, comrade, it does not work like that. You don't bring corporate here.
And what did you say to them?
I said, but guys, this is how it is. No, my friend.
They wanted shortcuts.
They wanted shortcuts, yeah.
Okay. When nobody's watching, when you're alone in the room, who are you?
I'm Charley Pietersen. You can ask my kids. I'm one of those guys that will crack jokes, tease them and everything. You must see the videos that they make with my children made with me, where we sing in the car, brother, when you are free, because I love that. And it's not all about structure in your life. It's about being yourself.
Being yourself is
when I'm alone, brother, you will enjoy me.
Values are important.
Yeah.
I mean, you're very clear about that. And for many people, doing the right thing, you said, but sometimes it gets into trouble.
Yeah.
Many people try to blow the whistle in this country when there are problems. I mean, it's not easy to be a good person and exercise what you believe in is right.
Yeah, brother. And I think also as men and leaders, the biggest mistake that we are making is that we don't want to confront situations. We want to move away, to go back to your comfort zone. When they were telling me the submissions and everything, I said, but guys, I'm going to do it. I know when I was not popular, brother, on level 4, that was our level. They thought that I was spying for the premier. I said, no. And the premier was saying, no, that's why I brought people like Charley them to show you guys how corporate work so that we can put corporate and government together to get our own flavor of things. So I walk away, but it was so frustrating. I walk away, brother.
Yeah, I mean, in your work with your movement currently of helping men and young men who've grown up without fathers, you get in touch with them, as you've mentioned earlier. They work in different parts of society and sectors. What kind of male leadership are you seeing emerging in South Africa today?
Thank you, brother, for that question. What you see now, brother, but what we have, brother, is that stubborn type of leadership that believe, this way or not the other way. They are also in competition with the youngsters that are exposed to a lot of things, with AI, internet, and everything. That this is the type of men that we want. What we need now, we need leaders, brother, that really can lead other people. If you can't lead yourself, how can you lead other people? We need ethical leadership, brother. We need people that really, and caring leadership that cares. Because in your staff group, in your staff complement, if you don't know who is who and what challenges are they sitting with, how can you lead people like that? There's a big difference now between, especially in government, they are title driven. I need to call you DG. I need to call you DDG. I need to call you this. And in corporate, when we meet each other in the corridor, stop. Hi, John. Hi, Charlie. But I know when I'm in the boardroom, I don't hi John you or I don't hi Charlie you. We are structured, but free. We drink tea together and coffee together. You'll never see in government people drinking with the DDG coffee and everything.
Yeah, people are holding on to positions and titles.
Yeah.
And that is, it doesn't give any meaning to anything.
Yes.
I mean, more than 50% of our population is female.
Mm.
Therefore, it would follow that the majority of people in the workplace would be female.
Yes.
But until today, we know from employment equity figures, everything, women are getting the raw deal, as we've said. And we're trying, what can we do differently? How can men who are doing the right things, who know what are the right things to do, make sure that they become very positive partners or allies to women in an organization?
But then what is key, the main thing is respect. I will also come back to what I've experienced and seen. If we get a female CEO, she's also coming with a wind. I'm going to show them. We are in charge. There's already resistance. Because also, you don't blame her because she needs to be with the boys, like when they come into, boys and everything. So from men is that we need to understand by now that before we were born, I'm born from a woman. That's my mother. There's my auntie. There's my grandmother. So we are from women. We have to find a way to work together. And also egos, brother, from both men and women needs to be addressed. There must be a cultural change in all organizations where we journey and know each other because, I've been to different corporates where I listen to a woman and ask her, what makes you feel happy? What makes you feel angry? What make you feel scared? The same with men. Then we know you'll find at the end, actually, we are just people. But I believe that, brother, if Maria Ramos is being appointed as my CEO, I need to respect her. Kuti Mahanyele being appointed as my CEO, I need to respect her because they didn't just jump in that position. They worked very, very hard. So do you, Thomas.
The same approach.
It's the same approach.
Yeah.
Brother.
Okay. I want to end off by coming back to the personal side of things for yourself, because don't die unknown means to me, as I've said before, you live a life with impact. You touch, because whether you know it or not, Charlie, as you said earlier, we touch people's lives.
Yeah.
Even in a shopping center, you're greeting somebody, you're touching somebody's life. At your funeral, what would you want people to say you were known for?
Let me come to the Nelson Mandela one that I wanted to say earlier. Madiba said, if you passed away and maybe there's a funeral of somebody else, brother, and we are all going to this funeral, and there are the tombstones. So sometimes you just pass through people's tombstones. What. But when you come to a certain tombstone, Charley Pietersen, when they stand there, if you can at least spend a second in your passing, saying, hey, he tried, with growing up without a father foundation. He tried. He knew that he's not going to make it all right. He tried with this and this. I said to my kids and my family, for me, what is important, when I die one day, go bury me in Smithfield, not here in Joburg, so that I can become, even if I'm dead, tourist attraction where guys say, hey man, let's go to Charlie's Corner. Then they can buy, some stuff in the town before they pass. But die purposefully then, and the gifts that God gave you, use at least one of them before you die. People die with books. People die with stories. People die with a lot of things that they were supposed to do, brother. And I promise you, each and every one of us, when God dispatch you from heaven, you are dispatched with a mission, brother. Brother, you're going to dominate this TV industry. You're going to do this, Charlie, and this and this. So but a lot of us don't discover our purpose while we are alive. So when I die, brother, the first thing I must make sure I'm going to heaven. And secondly, my kids needs to know, even when they are alone, if one of them maybe didn't make it in life, they must still remember that dad said you must respect your elders, you must do this and this. Like in my latest book, The Mindset Shift, where my kids did a foreword in the book there, brother. talking about me. I was even crying when I saw that.
Thank you very much, Charlie.
Thank you, sir.